Welcome to Ask an Atheist. We're a weekly educational call-in program dedicated to atheism, skeptical inquiry, and the separation of church and state. We come to you live from SCAN Studios in Seattle every Sunday afternoon, 3 to 4 Pacific time, and we're archived online at www.askanatheist.tv. I am Mike Gillis, and we actually have a special guest host this week, known on the YouTubes as BionicDance, Kate Farr.
Indeed. Hello.
How are you doing this week, Kate?
You know, I'm doing rather well. It's been an interesting week, I have to say. A lot of fun.
Yeah, very cool. So, like I said, it's Talk Like a Pirate Day, so feel free. We are a call-in show. You'll see a number at the bottom of the screen soon. Feel free to give us a call, and if you talk like a pirate, you get a gold star. So, we have some announcements. As you know, a couple weeks ago, we had a viewer contest. Basically, we had an email where a gentleman was told not to return to his church because of some goatee facial hair. Basically, what had happened is he was told by this pastor that having facial hair like that was just a simply sign of the devil or evil. So they told him not to come back. And you know, in this case, I kind of took pastor's advocate on this. So we actually had created this this collage of evil men with goatees, and if we can bring that up real quick. Still coming. This is the joy of live TV right now. If we can get the, there we go.
Ah, yeah.
We had created a collage, and we asked viewers to correctly name everyone who's on that collage, these evil, evil men. Actually, it's worth mentioning that Kate, who's with us today, is actually the person who created this collage for us.
It was just a couple of minutes in Photoshop.
So we actually had a winner a couple weeks, about on the 9th. We got our email basically saying, I think let's get that collage back up there. Let's see that goateed magic. It'll take some time. There we go. The winner is Jacob Armstrong. He lives in Northern Ireland, and I think it's worth, in case any of you at home are curious, here is the answer code. This is like the back of the math book, so to speak. On that, you're going to see evil goateed Spock from the Mirror Universe. Also Commander Kruge, that's the Klingon there at the bottom. He was from Star Trek 3, played by Christopher Lloyd. Yes, Christopher Lloyd played a Klingon. General Zod in the top left, he's the bad guy from the Superman movies, Superman 2. There's the Master at the bottom, that's the Doctor Who's arch nemesis. Evil Time Lord. Ming the Merciless near the bottom right in black and white, he's Flash Gordon's bad guy. In the middle there is Flintheart Glomgold, who is the arch enemy of Scrooge McDuck.
From DuckTales.
From DuckTales and the comics. From Aladdin, we have Jafar with Iago up in the top right.
Although Iago, of course, no goatee.
No goatee. It's even though Flintheart pulled it off, it's hard to be a bird with facial hair. And then also we have Vandal Savage from DC Comics in the bottom left. And the face of evil, Rick Warren up there on the top middle there, top middle left. And I almost forgot, our very own Sam Mulvey in the bottom right. The very face of evil. So we want to congratulate Jacob from Ireland. We're going to send you the Pat Robertson tape. Should be a lot of fun. It's going to be comedy gold. I still haven't heard the MP3 of it myself, but Case tells me it is hilarious, and he does have a rant about atheists in it. Also, if you're not familiar with the last couple episodes, we've been talking about the SCAN Awards. Woo! Yeah, it's basically the television network we're on, the Seattle Community Access Network, has an annual award show. And we're up for 4 different awards. We're up for Best Live Program, Best Local Program, Best New Program, and our personal favorite, and we really, really want you to vote for us for this, Best Religious Program. So if you go to SCANtv.org, if we can get that magical thing up there at any time, go there, give us a vote, or you can go to our website. We have a tab at the top on the left.
And if you go to my YouTube channel, you can find an ad for it, an animated ad thingy that I narrate.
That's true. Kate actually helped us out. She created a trailer for us on YouTube. It's a great video. Please go check it out. We should probably jump into some news stories.
Absolutely.
This is a really fun one. This is one from San Pedro in Belize, the San Pedro Sun. I don't even know where to begin with this. Basically, what was this? Crocodile sanctuary in Belize destroyed by mob. Well, In the early hours of September 5th, a frenzied mob of Mayan Belizean villagers set fire to an American crocodile sanctuary that a Colorado, USA couple spent the last 6 years creating. "We've lost everything," said Cherie Chanot-Rose, the co-owner and founder of the American Crocodile Sanctuary for Education. Sanctuary was located in Punta Gorda, Belize. The mob was apparently riled into a frenzy by a Mayan psychic. I love that they put the scare quotes on there because this person is undoubtedly a fraud, who claimed that 2 children who'd been missing for the last week had been fed to the crocodiles at the sanctuary. It's alleged that the same group of villagers are responsible for burning other homes in the past several months in the Toledo district, the southernmost portion of Belize. Luckily, Cherie and her husband were actually on a different island when this happened, so they were unharmed. But it's amazing. The reports that the mob shot and killed more than 17 crocodiles held in captivity at the sanctuary. Also destroyed were the Rose's 2-story home that included a laboratory and nursery for baby crocs. This is just insane. This is on the word of a psychic. This is like if Sylvia Browne told you to gather the villagers together with pitchforks and torches and go take something out. It's amazing. What evidence do they have for any of this?
Well, I mean, I think the point we should all get from this is never underestimate the power of frightened people in large groups.
It's amazing. It's like these people are, they're totally going off of the word of the psychic, who I don't believe actually told them to burn this down. But the fact is, even if they did have evidence that this had gone down there, they're basically acting like a vigilante mob.
Oh, of course. It's crazy pants. They should not be doing this kind of thing, and yet they're flipping out. And, you know, it's all on the basis of someone's say-so.
Yes, it's a psychic. This is Sylvia Browne leading the hordes against Castle Frankenstein. It's just insane. I don't know what to say to this, but I mean, again, whenever they bring up that, what's the harm? What's the harm of believing something without evidence? Well, here's one. I think if you're going to go burn somebody's house down, one, you have to have a really, really good reason, and 2, I don't think you should do it anyway.
And they're taking it out on crocodiles. Yeah. And, you know, I'm shocked that none of them were hurt or eaten or something.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't have felt bad if a crocodile had gotten a couple of these people. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There needs to be some kind of penalty for this kind of dangerous stupidity. As far as I know, none of them were eaten, so the crocodiles were the victims of this. Insane.
What you gonna do? I hope someone at least made luggage or boots out of them.
Yeah, we gotta use all parts of the buffalo.
Exactly.
So what do you got?
Well, I don't know how many of you remember Molly Norris. She started Everybody Draw Muhammad Day. But you may have noticed that her comic is not in the paper this week, and that's because there's no more Molly. I mean, she's, you know, the gifted artist is alive and well, thankfully, but on the insistence of top security specialists at the FBI, she is, as they put it, going ghost. She's moving, changing her name, and essentially wiping away her identity. She'll no longer be publishing cartoons in the paper or the City Arts magazine, where she's been a regular contributor. She is, in effect, being put into the witness protection program, except, as she notes, without the government picking up the tab. So these are the results of, you know, someone being frightened for their life because of just speaking out, an idea. And, you know, that's just simply not okay. You know,
it's insane. You basically have these religious zealots that can't handle somebody not obeying their religious rules. I mean, that's just insane. It's amazing how many well-intentioned people will go to defend somebody else getting so horrified by somebody not obeying their religious rules that they're willing to make violent threats against somebody. It's like, I'm sorry, if there was a group of Hindus that were killing people who were eating hamburgers, I would be the first in line to chomp one down on everybody eat a hamburger day. Because I'm sorry, you don't have the right to enforce these rules on other people.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make a lot of sense. It really doesn't.
And it's amazing. It's for drawing a picture. It isn't like she burned their house down or burned a cross in their lawn or something. They don't, I mean, I'm sorry, the cost of living in a society with free speech is that occasionally you're going to see something that offends you. That's just the way it is. I'm going to see something that offends me, you're going to see something that offends you. There are ways to respond to this, and you respond to it with your own free speech. Period. That's your response. You don't get to attack them. You don't get to threaten them into silence. It just doesn't work that way. I'm sorry. It's time to grow up. On a similar note, speaking of angry hordes of Muslims wanting to kill you because you offend their sensibilities, This is kind of interesting. This is from the Wall Street Journal. This is from Munster, Germany. Professor hired for outreach to Muslims delivers a jolt. It says, Mohammed Sven Kalish, a Muslim convert and Germany's first professor of Islamic theology, fasts during the Muslim holy month, doesn't shake hands with Muslim women, and has spent years studying Islamic scripture. Islam, he said, guides his life. It came as something as a surprise when Professor Kalish announced that the fruit of his theological research, his conclusion, the Prophet Muhammad probably never existed. Muslims, not surprisingly, are outraged. Even the Danish cartoonist who triggered a global protest a couple of years ago didn't portray the prophet as fictional. German police, worried about a violent backlash, told the professor to move his religious study centers to more secure premises. I mean, this is just crazy. I mean, this is the same thing as I'm sorry that, again, you're going to have to live in a society where occasionally you're going to hear something you don't like.
It's true, yeah. I mean, it really is for the best if people just start saying, you know what, I may not enjoy absolutely everything said to me, but I'm going to look at it as that's you, this is me. I mean, people are flipping out because the entire world doesn't follow their expectations, doesn't tromp to the beat of their drummer, and it's like, really. That's selfish, really selfish.
It is self-centered even in another way, where we're talking about a group of people who clearly don't believe in, say, Zeus or Zardoz or Frith or Crom or any number of other gods that people do and don't believe in. And they seem to they don't seem to expect any sort of violent backlash from somebody saying that Jesus wasn't divine or that, this is nuts. I'm sorry. Them, by stating their beliefs, are in effect saying that we're wrong and we're not, getting a lynch mob together to go kill somebody.
Yeah, I mean, if I want to accept the idea that I might be wrong or I might not, I mean, at least I can make an argument about it instead of flipping out and, trying to hurt or just shout down my opponents. There's more discussion when you're not a theist, it seems. We just seem to have more of a willingness to go, wait a minute, let me think about that, both on my end and their end.
Yeah, and I guess what I'd like to see come out of this, I mean, where are the Muslim Voltaires? I know that not all Muslims are violent, not all Muslims want to go kill somebody because they drew a picture of a cartoon, but I want to see them speak out. That's the conversation that needs to happen. The same way that I want to see like we spoke to somebody last week, it was a Christian who understood the separation of church and state. They need to have that conversation with other Christians. And Muslims also have to realize that they don't get special privileges. They don't get the sort of immunity from criticism that they don't get angry when, say, somebody criticizes the Pope or Catholicism or anything like that. That's fine. But you don't get that special right when somebody aims that criticism at you. I want to see that Muslim Voltaire, that somebody who says, I disagree with what you said about my religion, but I will die protecting your right to criticize me.
Yeah, precisely. I mean, that's what free speech is all about. It's not about you're not allowed to say anything good or bad or ugly. It's we're allowed to have a back and forth dialogue, even if we disagree with each other, because one of us might be right, one of us might be wrong. How are you going to find out if someone's constantly saying, no, you're not allowed to speak, you're not allowed to have an opinion, because if you do, I'll get grouchy at you. I mean,
that seems like there's a very admission of a losing argument is that when somebody throws something at you, the best you can throw back is shut up or I'll hurt you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically admitting you have a losing argument. You don't have anything to basically say, oh, well, I got nothing. So it's like the same thing as throwing out, you're going to go to hell. It's that same, it's like, I got nothing. I have no argument, so I'm going to use fear.
Right.
And if I can't do that, it's amazing. I'm sorry, Islam, but you're not the only religion in the world.